for O'Neill. The Blazers will be in the green-white. The Nighthawks in their teal and white. Silcott, number 4, will face off for the Nighthawks against Paul Palmo, number 6 for Boston. We're underway from Rochester War Memorial. Lead home. Rochester coming into this game with a little bit of momentum. They won the last 2 games of the season, and Boston lost the last 2 games of the season. Here's Paul Gates setting up the first offense. He is locked up against Talmo. He gives it inside and tries to give and go. Working up top, first shot off the iron. And O'Neill escapes with some pressure there. They get a fresh shot clock. Ball loose, watch out. Francis gets it down on the ground. Driscoll can't pick it up. Good defense by Francis. Push. Ball goes back. Frazier can't believe it. Here comes Gate looking for the ball in close. Screen shot. Was saved by O'Neill. He picks it up easily. What a year he has had. O'Neill has been the backbone of a very stingy defense that has allowed about 11 goals per game. About the same as the defense for the Nighthawks. 2 excellent goalies that should keep the lid on any wide-open offense for the other team. First offensive set for Boston. Blanchard, what a career year he's had. He just misses the 4x4.5-foot goal. Charlie Blanchard from Ohio Wesleyan just took that shot, and he has had maybe the best year of his career. And a push this way. Tommy
push
Young.
on the white. Same thing. Not too far out.
Gary Powers, head coach of the Rochester Nighthawks expansion team, led offensively by Paul Gates. Blanchard gets roped. Charlie Blanchard with a career year takes it from outside and beats Dietrich, and they are off to a 1-0 lead. What a year Charlie Blanchard has had. Takes it out front, lines up, 19-12 on the season, takes that left-handed shot and beats Dietrich down low. The 20th goal of the season for Charlie Blanchard from Ohio Wesleyan collegiately. Really an offensive force along with Ted Dowling this year. Palmo, one of only 2 face-off men to really dominate in the middle this year. Philadelphia has been successful, winning more than 50% of their face-offs, and Boston has been successful. They are back in the offensive set, second one. They lead 1-0 early in the first quarter. Cannon shot. Here's Dowling. Give and go. Back to Ryan, who can't pick it up. Sudan. Get back from behind. He is hatchet checked, and the ball gets back down to the floor. Edel put it back down, and here comes Tapp for Boston. Back to Edel. And Chuck can't find it. Tommy Amick last time got a slash in his eye. He's back.
Guys, when you come to the bench, make sure you got 1 stick out length. 1 stick out there so you can know it has...
Frazier looking calm. Palace a little bit active. Inside, a big check on Randy Frazier's had a great year too. Look at the ground ball hustle for Boston. It's been a key to their success. Rodney Tapp picks it up. Canadian acquisition this year. That's Donovan, I'm sorry. Blanchard back out front. They've had the ball almost the whole first 4 minutes. Blanchard shoots. He's already got 1 goal. Can't get a pass. Watch follow up for Blanchard. Can't beat Dietrich. Push call again. It'll go back to Boston. And it looks like it'll be Boston ball.
Official timeout.
Official timeout right now. It is a 1-goal lead for the Boston Blazers. They held on to second place in the regular season, and they come into this one with a lot of pride.
Farrell, just call 913-384-8960 for your brochure.
Welcome back to Rochester, everybody. Leif Elsmo along with Christy Lee and Quint Kesnick. This will be a physical game. The matchups this season have been very intense and very defensive in nature. If we look at the stats for these 2 games, or these 2 teams facing each other in the regular season, you can see that the Nighthawks had their 2 worst offensive performances, 9 goals and 8 goals, against the tough defense of O'Neill and the Blazers. But the offense for Boston is really geared toward the Dowling dash. Ted Dowling has become an offensive specialist, and what he does, we've called the Dowling dash. When it's successful, it's beautiful, just like that. Coming off the bench, he gets an easy goal. When the dash doesn't work, when it crashes, it's when defense like New York comes and meets him early and pushes him away. So the question is, will it be the Dowling dash or will it be the Dowling crash? Rochester has their own idea.
I'll tell you what, on the Rochester bench, Christy Lee with Coach Powless and Coach Barry Powless, how are you going to neutralize that Dowling dash?
Well, what we're trying to do, we've got some individual matchups that we're trying to put on Dowling, and we're just trying to make sure that we have 3 guys back when Boston changes.
So look for the Dowling dash leap in the second and fourth quarters, and hopefully the Nighthawks will stop it.
Right now, Dowling trying to get the ball in close, but the Nighthawks being very physical defensively. They're down by 1 as Blanchard got things started for Boston. Paul Gate, who wants to be a factor, hasn't gotten a shot. Dowling in close, can't beat Dietrich. Follow up. Cap can't get it past him. Here comes Silcott. Looks up to Sudan. Sudan looks for a player coming in. Benedict can't get it to him. Sudan very calmly gives it to Hollenbeck. Now up to Peter Park. Peter Park tries to get down low to Benedict. Likes to work the left side. Park's a big right-hander on the wrong side right now for a shot. He's got to come around the goal. He's forced himself to the left hand. Now he's in good position. Whoa, they couldn't pick it up, and watch out. Sudan's getting pressure. Shot clock violation. You get 30 seconds to put it on net, or else you'll lose it.
Boston ball.
Blazers' tough defense led the mill.
Here we go, Nighthawks. Here we go.
Only 11.4 goals. Ted Dowling is a key to their offense. Quick testing has him on the Boston bench.
Ted Dowling, you guys off to a nice start here, controlling the ball offensively. Yeah, we just got to penetrate more and get some more shots on Dietrich, and hopefully we can tire him out. Look for the Dowling dash in the second and fourth quarters, please.
All right, that means he'll be going out the gate. It'll give him the advantage on the fast break. 1-0. Boston still leads this one. Paul Gate wants to be the factor. You saw him in the open. He is the most prolific scorer in the mill last year. He's been injured this year. He really wasn't physically right the 2 times they faced Boston. And he really, again, wants to lead the team offensively. We haven't seen him touch the ball much. He touched it once and gave it up right away. So Paul Gate will want to be a factor. He's asking for the ball on the far side, doesn't get it. Driscoll comes in looking for Gate. And goes Fleming, can't beat O'Neal. What a great play by O'Neal. He gave him the near side and almost predicted that he'd wrap the shot around his shoulder. So O'Neal covered the behind-the-back shot. Tremendous instincts by Marty O'Neal. Took away that goal by Brian Lemon. Still 1-goal lead for Boston. Great year for the Boston Blazers. They got second place. Dowling tries to find the corner. Beautiful pickup by Tapp, who gets it back to Dowling. Can't get it. Driscoll off to the races. Check puts it down. Here comes Paul Gate. Can't get it in his stick. And he is hammered by Edel. Finally, Tapp picks it up. Paul Gate had 2 players on him, and that is what has been successful for Boston. They put 2-3 players on the ground balls and make it tough to get possessions. They are a very fit and physical team. Well coached by Steve Conley and head coach Ronnie Frazier. Ripping it in from out front. There's Carmine. Wheels and fires. Goal number 2. So Dietrich allows 2 early on. Both of them from out front. He's talking to his defense right now. Reggie Thorpe, defensive specialist from Syracuse. The other goal was from well out front, too. This is a right-handed shot that just rips up from the twine. You see Dietrich going low. The shot went high and beats him. Again, Carmine wheels around for the right. Overplayed by Driscoll and drops his stick low. So look at the goalie goes low. The shot comes high and just finds rope. 10th goal of the year for Carmine, who is primarily an assist man. A great transition.
In the box, 2 minutes.
Offensive player.
Elbowing.
Should it be a face-off?
Yeah.
Michael, I don't know. You tell me. It wasn't after the goal? Okay. Was it? Okay.
Rochester penalty, number 34, Blaine Jacobs. 2 minutes for roughing. Jacobs.
So on this face-off, Rochester gets the ball, but they lose the player. Jacobs in the box. And they will play a man short. They're down 2 goals. Boston with an early lead. Boston actually beat this team handily in the 4th quarter in earlier matchups. Now they're leading early in the game. Paul Gate, he's a man short, but he can shoot from out here, pushing in against 2 players. He wants to shoot, puts it right in the stomach protection of Marty O'Neal. Not great shot selection for Paul Gate. You can see he really wanted to get a shot on goal. he goes off now as the defensive specialists come on. It's 5-on-4. Power play for Boston. Carmine will trigger from up top. Settles everybody down. He just scored the last goal. Blanchard has one. Carmine has one. Both from out front. Blanchard works the left-handed shooter spot right there. Up to Carmine. Carmine pushes in, makes the defense commit. Goes far side to Randy Frazier. Now they work from behind. Udell up to Frazier. Too much time. Shot clock violation. A huge, huge mistake for Boston.
Go get the ball, Paul. Go get the ball. Come!
Okay. Both teams a little bit slow, and Boston really makes a mistake there because they don't even get a shot on their first power play opportunity. They've got the 2-goal lead. First quarter action continues in a moment. And Rochester are stunned. Boston off to an early 2-0 lead. You know, in any sport, it's tough to beat a team 3 times. Boston is forced to do that if they want to advance to the final game. They beat Rochester twice this year, and they kind of beat them again to beat Philadelphia in the final game. Paul Gate, the one-man scoring machine, takes a shot for the corner, can't find rope. O'Neal's an easy save. Paul Gate almost too anxious to shoot. Push call back to the Nighthawks. Now the Nighthawks right now playing a man short, don't forget. It's 5 players for Boston against 4 for the Nighthawks. Paul Gate not shy about going to the goal even when they have a man short. Talmo playing defense on Sudan out front. Sudan waiting for the clock to go down. There's 16 seconds left on the shot clock. And there's only 16 on the penalty. So they will effectively kill this penalty if they hold it the full 10 more seconds. Sudan moves inside, looks for help, gives it back. Burns over to Paul Gate. They lose it on possession, but the penalty is over. Jacobs is on the field, and they have killed the penalty. What's disappointing for Boston, even though they have the 2-goal lead, is that they didn't even get one shot off on that power play. But they have looked good out front. Carmine and Blanchard scoring from out in front of Dietrich. Carmine directing traffic into Blanchard. He couldn't get it. Good stick check from Sudan behind him. Sudan comes in, beating up Donovan on the side. Donovan jukes it back to Carmine. Rips one from outside and can't beat Dietrich. Frazier with the ground ball. Key to their successes. Possessions, multiple possessions. Blanchard just misses rope. Sudan hustles it down, can't get possession, looks for the fast break. But the play of Carmine gives it back to Boston. How many times has that hustle paid off for Boston so far in this game? They go for multiple possessions time and time again. Inside, Randy Frazier can't beat Dietrich. Here comes the Nighthawks. Reggie Thorpe, All-American defenseman from Syracuse, a defensive specialist, a rookie for the Nighthawks. Ryan Lemon, veteran major indoor lacrosse league. Played for Baltimore, played for Detroit. And Driscoll. Now Gates out there if they can find him. There he is on the far side. Picks it up, let's see if they isolate. Paul Gate really wants to get into the net. He is really pushing for action. Goes for the far corner, can't find it. Paul Gate playing like there's only 3 seconds left. They lose the ball. Down to Christy Lee on the Nighthawks sideline.
Randy Mearns is joining us. Randy, your team seems a little bit tight in the early going. Is it your first playoff maybe? Has it got you guys a little bit tense?
Well, I think we're a little tense coming out to start. We're just trying to find our sticks, I think. You know, we haven't played in 3 weeks, so it's getting back into that gel. I think things will come up big. We got to get Chugger to come up big for us, and I think things will come about.
Thank you, Randy. Ted Dowling just scored for the Blazers. Leaf.
And Dowling did a great job of getting inside. And I think it was Carmine that hit him. Dowling finding the seam. Watch out front. It was Chanachuk finds Dowling, and Dowling beats the defensive play of Reggie Thorpe. Again, empty inside. Thorpe gambles on the check, misses, and Dowling finishes against Dietrich. Great play for Boston. A 3-0 lead, and the Nighthawks are stunned. One thing offensively is to look at Dowling. He is really most of the offense for Boston, but he is very, very potent when he gets the ball. And look at the ground ball work of the rest of the crew. They really know their roles. Push from behind on Hallenbeck. Give the ball back to Boston. Talmo does a great job on faceoffs, giving Boston more possessions than the other team, and that's a key part of their success. Frazier has assigned roles to his team. They follow out those jobs very, very specifically. I think you're right about the tightness of Rochester. Personally, I think they are definitely tight.
Ball down, we got to hold this way.
Crew Chief Tommy Young giving a hold call against Rochester, who has not had very many
Not
minutes.
too far out, gang.
It's the hippie.
Barry Powell doesn't want them to go too far out to play defense. He wants to pack it in, protect Dietrich a little bit. Moving pick is the call. Here come the Nighthawks. And I think what has happened offensively is that Paul Gate is definitely pressing a little bit. You can tell the shots on quarter, Boston just killing them, 11-5. They've had many more possessions and multiple shot possessions. Paul Gate is forcing it on his offensive end. Benedict tries to get one. Out of the goal is Dietrich. Open net. Benedict screams Shannon Chuck from behind. It'll be a 2-minute penalty against
foul.
Benedict.
Roughing.
Dietrich comes out of the goal. Watch Benedict, 66, runs up the back of Chanachuk and hammers on. Roughing call from behind. That was very clean and clear. Quick Keswick is on the Boston sideline.
Coach Frazier, 3-0, doing a nice job defensively against Paul Gate.
Absolutely. We're trying to keep Paul Telmo and Ty Francis on every time down the field and give him his left hand if possible.
Boston right now getting their defensive specialists on the field, Steve.
And they're also getting their offensive shots when they want them. Frazier wraps it around. Can't beat Dietrich. Second power play opportunity. Blanchard jukes inside, looking for Rowe, can't get it. Last time they didn't even get a shot on their power play. This time they are all over Dietrich. So they made some adjustments. 5-on-4 for Boston. They lead by 3. They have done things very calmly and collected. A real good scheme offensively. That one takes it. Carmine just rips it from the right hand. 4-0. Frazier's on a roll, and Rochester calls a timeout.
Start yelling at these to use you in our end. We get the ball, throw it back into them, boys. Do this smart.
Okay, we got our face-off guys. All right, remember, pick the ball up,
Thank you.
new
Welcome
set,
to the boys
okay?
and girls
We'll
club of
have to
Rochester
set.
this afternoon's game. The Nighthawks are brought to you by
The Boston Blazers have gotten off to a 4-0 lead. This was on a power play. Last time they didn't get a shot. This time, Carmine sets up on the right-hand side and beats Dietrich, who has not been that sharp. The whole team has been not that sharp. Really, Boston's looked great. Take nothing from them. Right-handed shot beats Dietrich, who's way outside. The great physical nature of Boston has given them multiple shot possessions. For instance, 1, 2, the last 5 possessions, they've had 2, 3, and a 4-shot possession. Meanwhile, Rochester only has 1 2-shot possession. Every other one has been 0 shots or 1 shot. Mostly Paul Gate just went ahead and thrown it at the goal. He's pressing without question. Paul Gate playing like there's only 5 minutes left in the game, and he's got to score right now. So the pressure definitely on the Nighthawks. Now they are down by 4 against a very collected and calm Boston squad that knows their roles, and they're fulfilling the game plan of Ron Frazier. Carmine out to Blanchard. They have been a big part of the offense, trying to get it off as the shot clock is counting down. Burns gets it, looks for the fast break to Hollenbeck. Hollenbeck running, Gates up in front. This could be trouble. Hollenbeck looks to take a shot, jukes inside, wheels back to the trailing player. He finds Levin! Big save by O'Neal. Tremendous save as O'Neal was on his knees. He fought with the first fake, and then he had enough presence to raise the stick to get the save. Back the other way. Here come the Boston Blazers. Robinson. Robinson hammered by Sudan. He remains on his feet. Robinson doubled, and ball picked off by Lemon.
Right here.
So Burnham goes to the box for another 2-minute penalty.
23 roughing, 2 minutes, 23.
And the Nighthawks continue to kill themselves with bad decisions. They're just trying to do too much.
23 white, roughing, 2 minutes.
It looks like they're trying to do too much individually. Each player just really...
That's right, Brian. Almost, buddy. Come on, Shark. Come on, Shark. Got a hold of him here.
When you hear him talk about Chugger, they're talking about Steve Dietrich. That's his nickname, and Chugger has been probably not on top of his game so far. They've scored 2 of their early goals from way out front, then 1 in close with Dowling and a power play goal. This is their 3rd power play opportunity. Hard shot on Dietrich. He makes a save. Sudan gets it off to the wing. Jacobs looks for a trailing player. He's hammered from behind, and look at that. The ball goes right back to Boston. Good play. Boston will not let you rest. They just drag you all over the field. Dowling gives it back to Carmine. They have plenty of time to reset. 1:27 left in the penalty. And about 49 seconds left in the first quarter. So the first quarter winding down. Boston can make it a 5-goal lead. No, they're wide left. Edel can't pick it up. Carmine off at the point. He's got it. Carmine takes a shot, and that goes wide. Shot clock violation with 30 seconds left in the quarter and a minute on the penalty. The Nighthawks get it back. Now, you would expect that they'd hold it and at least get out of this quarter without giving up another goal. It has not been a good quarter, obviously, for the Nighthawks. The expansion team with a healthy Paul Gate has looked tight. They have not been setting up good situations for Paul Gate to get the shots. He has been defensed by Francis and Talmo and company with very, very physical defense. Sudan, a man down, takes a shot out front, and O'Neill with a big save. Old call against Boston, and with 4 seconds left, that's the quarter time. 39 seconds on the penalty, they'll get it back. Blanchard rags Sudan. Sudan just drops it down in as the time winds down for quarter number 1. It's all Boston. The Blazers come into Rochester, and they own the first quarter. They lead 4-0 as we go to the second quarter. Final game this year, they're down by 4. They've really cut out a tough road to hoe, and Quentin Kesnick has the successful bench on the Boston side.
Bruce Channing-Chuck, 7 years in the league. You talked earlier about getting off to a good start. You guys have. You got a 4-goal lead. Yeah, the last 2 games we played, we got off to a slow start. We dug a hole for ourselves. We don't want to let that happen tonight. We want to get off the open whistle, and so far we did. Hopefully it can continue, Quinn. Momentum's on the Blazers sideline, Leaf.
And Quentin Kesnick, along with Bruce Channing-Chuck, both graduates and ex-players of the fantastic history-making Johns Hopkins Field Lacrosse program, a program that has more championship history than any other field lacrosse program. Right now, Boston's still a man up, looking for another goal. They lead by 4. We're moments into the second quarter, and Reggie Thorpe picks up the loose ball. Penalty is now over. Burnham back on the field. Can the Nighthawks get something together? Burnham comes in, fakes the feed. Why is he feeding? He's right in front of the goal. Unbelievable. Burnham is right in front of the goal. He's trying to give it to an offensive player. O'Neill makes the easy save. So I guess it was Paul Gate who came in and tried to get it to Paul. And the whole team looks to be waiting for Paul Gate to do something. And that is not the way a team sport is played. These guys have to loosen up. You can tell by watching they are just full of energy, but wasted energy. Not a good game plan yet for the Nighthawks. Shot from out front. And that goes out. First quarter stat summary. Look at Boston. They just got possession after possession to get a 16-8 shot advantage. Loose balls, they control that by 4. And face-offs, Talmo doing a great job winning 4 out of 6. This call gives the ball back to Boston. And multiple possessions, certainly in the favor of the team from Boston. This is Ryan out front, trying to get it to Dowling. He gives it to him. Dowling in the crease, ball goes back to Rochester. Gate has been no factor. Dietrich, as they press a little bit, comes out, finally gives up to Brian Lemon. Rodney Tapp now shadowing Paul Gate. Paul Gate is going to have to work to get the ball. This is Driscoll offside, working the right side. Up top, Peter Park, usually down by the pipe. Inside the merge, can't collect it, and he is hammered by Channing-Chuck. Push ball, gives it back to the Nighthawks. They need to get a goal to loosen this team up. Pete Park working up top, this is very unusual. Pete Park usually works down low in a finishing capacity. Up top, Driscoll can't find rope. Ball goes inside. Levin can't get the follow-up. Good try. Push call. Goes back to the Hawks. Brian Levin went in there and intercepted the feed back to the goalie and almost got himself a goal. Watch Gate being shadowed by the defense. They've got select players that are going to be all over him. He can't get free. He's going to have to work very hard to get the ball. Right now, Pete Park moving in. Big 6'5". Tough to cover this man. 3 players, gives it off to the side. Finishing shot by Jacobs. And he's ridden off by little Chanachuk. Paul Gates had a tough time. Christy Lee's got him right now.
Paul, we can't help but notice you're being double-teamed big time. How are you going to break out of that?
I just got to try and run through it, power my way through, and hopefully get the shot. Try and go at the times when there's no back, no third man there, and hopefully I'll get the shot.
Paul Gates, there you have it, Leaf.
Paul Gates putting a lot on his shoulders of the team. I think counting on him a little bit too much. This team is good in transition. Dietrich with a big save. What we've seen from the Rochester Nighthawks is that when they run, they are a great finishing team. When they get into a set situation, they have not been that effective. Watch in front. Oh, they try to get back to it to Blanchard. Would have been trouble for Dietrich. Blanchard double teamed and rocked. Sudan. All the way across. Cannot find his man. He gets it back for himself. Looking inside. Sudan double teamed and hit from behind. Stevens got him. The Boston team does not let them rest. You'll notice that they are all over every loose ball, contesting every possession. Back in front. Donovan can't get it off. Dietrich goes wide open. Nobody can get a shot. Burnham playing some tough D. This is Ted Dowling, the great finisher. Shot from up front goes wide. Shot clock down to 6. They better hurry. Carmine will take one from way out front. Oh, great sweeping finishing shot by Dowling. Ball loose and Dietrich picks it up. What a great shot by Dowling. Dietrich makes the save. Chugger looking a little stronger, but where is the offense for Rochester? That has been the problem. Dowling's doing it. Boston's doing it. The Nighthawks got to step up. They're down by 4. Big action on ESPN2 continues. Boston Rochester winner takes on Philadelphia, the defending North American Cup champion here in the Mill, April 8th, 1 p.m. live on ESPN. How about the contact in this game? Watch Blanchard try to squeeze through the defense. Whoa! No way. He becomes a Mill sandwich. And I'll tell you what, the contact has been there. The defense and game plan for Boston has been right on target. And the offense for Rochester hasn't showed up yet. Benedict tries to get a shot. He can't get open. Well, that's Hollenbeck, rather, number 16. Interesting, after the timeout, Paul Gates' unit is not out there. It's a unit that's pressing a lot. Silcott's unit's out there. Delayed call, a penalty now. They'll get a free shot. They can't even get one on. Great defensive work by Sebastian. Tommy Young, crew chief.
7 green holds, 2 minutes.
So a 2-minute call on Robinson gives the Nighthawks their first chance to stick one on O'Neal. They'll put Lyons and Pete Park down low. They have Jacobs up top, and that's Paul Gates shooting left-hander. Other shooting left-hander is Sudan. They start down low the goal. They're making O'Neal work back and forth. Up top, Dewey Jacobs. This is Sudan. Pete Park can't beat O'Neal. A good scheme gave him a nice shot. It'll be a hold call against the defense of Boston. They turned away the first shot. Chanachuk on that man-down unit. Along with Tapp, Francis, and Cataldo. A rough, tough man-down unit for Boston. Ball gate to Sudan. Back door. Lyons couldn't pick it up. Now the ball is loose. Look at Chanachuk running. As O'Neal looks for the pass break. O'Neal whips it. But luckily it goes right to Francis, who tries to bounce past it and does get it to Dowling. Tapp, watch out, far side. Blanchard, Dowling has it now. Can't beat Dietrich. Driscoll gets the loose ball, looks for a fast break. Gives it into Jacobs. A minute 10 left of the penalty. Plenty of time if they settle it down. looking for good ball movement, 5-on-4. Sudan back up to Dewey Jacobs. Sudan working the right-handed shot as Gate works up top. Jacobs inside, can't beat O'Neal. Look at him, watch out. Ball rolled out of his protection and almost went past the line that shapes the plane of the goal. If it breaks the plane of the goal, that is one for Rochester. He has been perfect so far, Marty O'Neal. In our first playoff game, we saw Dallas Elliott play about as good as you can play to take Philadelphia into the finals. So far, O'Neal is showing that he may have been stripped a little bit on the All-Pro selection. Big shot. And Dietrich makes the save. Dietrich got second-team All-Pro. O'Neal didn't. Maybe that's a little bit on his mind. 12 seconds left in the penalty. Let's get that any time. They're trying to get it to Paul Gate. Can't do it. Paul Gate can't find it off the boards. O'Neal does up the tap. Great legs on the Boston team as Dowling comes in. Thornton locks up on him. Into Frazier. Frazier defense by Emick. Sudan double team. Push call gives the ball back to Rochester. It's going to be timeout on the field. A 4-goal lead. 4 goals scored in the first quarter. No goals scored in here. O'Neal's been perfect. This one almost squeezed in. Watch it fall out of his shirt. It almost goes in, but he grabs it. There you go, ESPN2, bringing you the second playoff game of a major indoor lacrosse league. And the Rochester fans a little bit stunned because Boston has controlled this game. The Nighthawks trying to get their offense on track. They haven't scored yet, and we're well into the second quarter. Gate has been no factor. He's had a couple shots, but nothing very good. This is Sudan. Sudan running hard up top. Shot by Hollenbeck. Just missed. The 4-by-4.5-foot goal. Talmo's been a big part of the game. Let's go down to Q. He's got him on the sideline.
Paul Talmo, nice job on ground balls. Defensively, you guys are really shutting down Paul Gate.
Yeah, well, we have a specialized defensive line, and we got a couple guys on that specialized line that are concentrating on taking Paul every chance they get. You know, the better defensive guys on a defensive line could, you know, we should be able to shut them off without too much of a problem.
Paul Talmo and the defensive specialist really controlling the tempo for the Blazers, Leaf.
And Quint, they do have specialists on their team. They have 4 guys on their team with no goals. Very unusual in this league. You only have 15 dressing. Fewest goals scored by the Nighthawks in the first half is 3 versus the Blazers on the 18th of February. And they might break that record tonight. A record they didn't want to break. Blazers getting challenged on the defensive end, but they bring it back. Watch the fast break. Benedict trying to get it. Benedict trying to pick it up. Can't do it. Blanchard. Charlie Blanchard with an all-pro year. Didn't get the selection, but he's playing well. Frazier tried to get it to his teammate, finally does. Dowling comes on. Dowling came on late to save that. Here comes Silcott. Played for Buffalo last year. As a face-off specialist, he's got somebody to the far side. Silcott in close! Can't beat O'Neal. O'Neal just stood him up. Now Dowling. 2-1-1. Frazier, Dowling. Dowling gets it back for the finishing shot. Now here's Frazier. Can't beat Dietrich. Chugger makes the save. Both goalies heating up. Plenty of time for Rochester if they could just find some sort of offensive flow. They've got to find a way to get Paul Gate the ball. Paul Gate scored 31 goals last year when he was healthy. That's almost 4 goals a game. Gate takes a shot. Defense gobbles it up. Gate's on his back. Boston's on the run. Ryan, Donovan. Donovan to Ryan. Looking for rope. Can't find it. Both teams running. Here comes Paul Gate. He's got to beat one man. Looks across field. Gives it to Driscoll. Driscoll can't get the shot off. Look at the defense of Boston. Lemon picks it up. All the way over to Paul Gate. He'll get a shot here. Rips it. He's got rope. Finally in transition, they get it to Paul Gate in the open field. He gets no defender on him, and he shows you what a 100-mile-an-hour shot can do to even a great goalie. Once again, Lemon with a good ground ball work. 2 steps, a rocket, and rope. 24 goals. You saw the look of concern and focus on Paul Gate. Timeout called by Boston. It's the first goal for the Nighthawks. It's a 4-1 game. And finally, Rochester gets a little bit of offense. Goalie work of Dietrich getting tougher. O'Neill very strong. It's been a defensive struggle. A 3-goal lead for Boston in the second quarter. Minutes left, and I'll tell you what, they've gone a long time without scoring. Finally, Paul Gate breaks the ice for them, but Boston has been relentless on the ground balls. That's been the difference. Great goalie work, of course, by O'Neill, but that's expected. Push call on Boston, gives it back to the Nighthawks. They try to push the fast break. They'll have to reset on the other end of the field.
You pointed the wrong way. Come on, you call that a penalty. You pointed the wrong way. Push from behind. That was a cross check. What are you talking about? Put out. Right.
Well, Barry Powell doesn't lose his temper easily. Mark Burnham, wide open. Can't beat O'Neill. O'Neill just very calmly lifts the arm, makes the glove save, the shoulder save. He is so tough to beat. It gives the Boston team great confidence to play with reckless abandon for the loose balls. Blanchard already has a goal. Has the ball now. Early 4-0 lead for Boston. They had 4 goals against none for the Nighthawks in the first quarter. Nighthawks have 1 goal in the second. The defense is stiffened up, though. Carmine out front. Looks inside. Defense can't catch him. Mark Burnham locks up. Watch out front. Shot clock violation as Chugger gobbles it up. Far side gives it to Jacobs. Jacobs looks for a fast break. Stroke. Timmy Sudan gave you one of the greatest efforts of the year. The ball will come down with Jacobs. He finds Sudan up front, and Sudan is falling down as he makes the shot. He's hit from behind, falls, and gets it by O'Neill, who can't believe it. What an effort by Timmy Sudan, last year's second-team All-Pro. Great play. Sudan only has 7 goals on the year. They need him to step up, and he did just that. 4-2, a 2-goal lead for Boston. They scored the first 4. Rochester has answered with 2 of their own. We've got only 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Defensive game, but finally for Rochester, hope on the offensive end. Another call by the referees who are calling this one very tight. 2-minute call against Rochester. Well, it looks like the Nighthawks again putting themselves at a shorthanded disadvantage.
They do nothing. It was about penalties. You take one picture, just pop them out of the glove. Yeah, you can go. Go, don't worry about that.
Well, I'd like to know who he was talking about. Obviously not concerned about somebody on the offensive end. Carmine out front, 5-on-4.
Come on, get it going.
Looking inside, ball knocked down on the floor, but it's dangerous here. Dowling can't beat Dietrich. Thorpe trying to get the loose ball. Far side, working very tough is Edel. Dowling's down low. Carmine, right-handed shot. Carmine rockets one, can't get it. Shot clock at 22. 3:17 left in the second quarter. The first half winding down. 2-goal lead for Boston. And in a defensive matchup, as you can see this will be, every goal critical. Frazier can't find the net. Carmine, backdoor to Dowling. Thorpe blocking him. Shot clock violation. Here comes Dewey Jacobs. Crowd on their feet. 57 seconds left. in this penalty. Stewie Jacobs trying to get it to Paul Gate. Now he does. Paul Gate can beat one or two players. That's not a problem. Good matchup right here. Carmine's too light for Paul Gate. He gets around Carmine and then peels back when he sees the next defender. Far side to Lemon. Burns. Can't get a fresh shot clock, so it goes back to Boston. Now we're down to 2:26.
Yes. Timeout!
Boston wants the timeout. They've got 30 seconds left on the penalty. Frazier wants to call a play on the power play and he get one more goal. He wants to lead by 3. Well, right now, Boston leads by 2 as the first half winds down. Getting at it early.
Hey, ref!
Take control of them. We're going to let them go wide.
Mark Burnham. What happened was when the timeout was called, Rochester had to walk by the Boston bench. Pete Crawford, now with the Nighthawks, talking to the refs.
Listen up. We're losing your focus. You're losing your focus. Our focus is not getting that type of shit now. Come on. All right, start thinking out there. Let's go. Come on.
Barry Pallas looks like he's a little bit powerless to keep his team in wraps. Frazier, his team playing pretty much close to the vest, using a defensive game to set up his select offensive players. He's done it all year. He's doing it tonight. Carmine, Blanchard with a goal. Also Dowling with a goal. They lead 4-2 and now have a chance to make it a 3-goal lead. 19 left on the penalty. Rocket behind the back shot. Watch out for Carmine up top. They reset the power play. Down low to Dowling. He fans. Here comes Sudan. Sudan gets through 2 players. He's knocked down. Reggie Thorpe. Thorpe, a defensive specialist, couldn't pick it up cleanly. Lost some valuable time. Timmy Sudan feeling good about that last goal. Good move inside, and the check by Blanchard takes it out. Two-minute call against Boston. Frazier can't believe it. Blanchard goes into the box. Penalty is over for Rochester, and now they'll have a chance to get something going. Christy Lee's got Tommy Emick, a local favorite for the Rochester Nighthawks.
That's right. Brian, I want to talk to you quickly about, obviously, those 2 goals are huge, and now you're in a power play situation.
Yeah, they were really big. Now we're really definitely back in the game. And with 4-2, if we can get one here, 4-3, we're going to look good going into halftime.
Keeping your composure at this point is really critical.
Yeah, it is. Certainly we got to keep our composure in the minute 48 left in the half and keep things going. I got to say hi to Judson and Logan back home.
Brian Lemon, thanks. Lee.
And Christy Lee, Brian Lemon's one of those cool, calm customers. As you see, Pallas and Paul Gate.
You want to go shooter? Okay.
Brian Lemon played for Baltimore, played for Detroit. A leveling influence for the Rochester team. It looks a little bit rattled right now. Now, when you heard Paul Gate tell Pallas that he wants to go shooter, they have a different amount of looks, different looks that they give on this power play. They work Gate low for a finishing spot, or they work him high as a shooter on the left-handed side. He told Pallas, I want to go shooter, and that's why he's up top. Now he rotates up top to the very point. Inside, they can't pick it up. They lose the chance for a shot. No shot for Rochester after a timeout. They have time. They just be patient to get the ball back. They try to get it down, picked up by Reggie Thorpe. Now, if they hurry up here, Dowling has to come off. They take their time, and Chanchuk comes on for Dowling. So they reset. Gate goes up to the point. Now he'll start up top. Down low, Park tries to finish, can't beat O'Neal. Driscoll, a minute 24 on the penalty, has plenty of time. Paul Gate wraps around the back. Driscoll wasn't ready for it. Unbelievable play. Driscoll down to Dewey Jacobs, now playing where he was before. When they put Gate up top, it really opens things up. I think they look better with Gate up in that point position because the open is the middle. With Gate up top, it opens the middle. Pete Park crashed from the right-handed side. He got the right-handed shot. His first goal of the game. It's a 4-3 contest. Boston scores 4 in the first quarter. The Nighthawks scored 3 in the second. And this has turned into a dogfight. Boston threatened to run away with it with a 4-0 first. And it was well into the second quarter before Rochester got their first goal. But now they've got 3 straight. And 30 seconds left in the second quarter. Shot from out front. Chugger just eats it up. Procedure call. Gives it back to Boston. They've got 24 seconds. Chance for another shot.
Robo! Robo! Go!
All right, Nighthawks fans. Bring the Nighthawks in the locker room.
They're trying to get Robinson off. That's what he was yelling. Robo, Robo. He's trying to get Robinson off. That's time in the half. They got Dowling on. This is Blanchard. They got all their guns. Blanchard can't beat Chugger. Follow up. Can't beat him again. Dietrich getting very tough. He finally gets possession. Watch the fast break. He just launches this one up. Can't find Gate. And that is the end of the first half. Frazier in Boston owned quarter number 1. Dietrich took care of quarter number 2, and his team scored 3 goals to make this one a 4-3 game. Pete Park came up with a huge goal, and Christy Lee has him now.
A great second quarter for you, Peter. You had a huge goal there. You're right in the thick of things.
Oh, yeah, I thought we were down 4-0. We just didn't give up. We came right back, and we're a gritty team. We usually have slow first quarter, so glad we could come back.
What do you think Coach Paulus is going to tell you at halftime?
Just keep getting the loose balls and keep transition. Our transition play improved so much in the second quarter. We're really catching them, so I think we can do that in the third and fourth. We'll be all right.
All right, Peter Park, great goal in the second quarter, and we're getting ready for second half action here on ESPN2. While we do that, catch our breath and come back with our halftime show, you get to check out Rules and Tools. And tonight features Boston's goalie, Marty O'Neill.
Now it's time for the Rules and Tools of the Mill, brought to you by Old Spice High-Endurance Deodorant and Alcohol-Free Sensitive Aftershave. Despite what you might think, there is a rule for checking a player from the rear. This is a legal hit by Marty O'Neill. Why? Because the angle of attack is from the side or front. The hit is below the neck and above the waist, and both players are within 5 yards of the ball. Now here is an illegal hit. The fast break rule is a little bit different. The player receiving the ball must have a full step after catching the pass. He didn't get it, therefore this is a penalty.
Jumped out to an early lead. Gary Gates scored on this rocket, putting them up 2-0. 4-on-3 fast break. The Bandits show good patience and ball movement as Darius Kilgore scores to give the Bandits a 3-2 lead. But then it was time for goalie Dallas Elliott to shine.
Tavares can't get it. Ciccone follows up. Nobody there. Tavares again. Dallas Elliott is superhuman.
Elliott's heroics provided a spark for Philly as they ripped off 8 straight goals, including this one by Hollywood Tom Maricek and a laser beam by Steve the Manimo Govett. The Wings had a commanding 11-5 halftime lead, but the Bandits found new life.
Against Denikin. Beltman loose. Beltman looking far right.
It was a game of streaks. Buffalo dominated the third quarter, coming back to tie the game at 12 on this acrobatic behind-the-back goal by Brian Hall. Philly met the challenge. Chris Flynn gave them the lead with this kamikaze diving goal, and then superstar Gary Gates scored his 5th of 6 goals, sealing the playoff victory for the Wings. The Philadelphia Wings headed for the championship game for the 6th time in 9 years, this time to defend the cup.
Well, last night, Gary, 6 goals, 3 assists, MVP season. In fact, he was named the MVP of the Major Indoor Lacrosse League.
Yes, he was. He had, an unbelievable season, Gary Gates. 5-time first-team All-Pro. He had 30 goals. He's just unbelievable. 48 points, I believe, for the year, and wonderful job. Charlie Lockwood, he had a great season as well. Rookie of the year, 12 goals, 8 assists, 20 points, and the leading scorer for the New York Islanders. We'll be back here in Rochester with more Leaf Elsmo and Stats on the way on the Deuce.
right for you.
But I want to know right now.
We'll mail it to you to
Leif Elsmo, Christy Lee, and Quint Kesselnick. Our second of 2 playoff games as we move toward the championship game in Philadelphia, April 8th, live on ESPN. This is Ron Frazier. His team owned the first quarter, got 4 goals unanswered, but then Rochester gets 3 in the second to make it a close game. But you have to say that even though it's a close game at 4-3, Rochester has yet to look comfortable in the offensive end. Boston, meanwhile, is doing exactly what they've done all year, using the defensive formula and opportunistic offense. Park working against Rodney Tapp. Gate in close, finished by the Lions. What a great scheme. They get a lot of attention because Paul Gate just rips it down to Rex Lyons. And Lyons takes it right in the face of Marty O'Neill. You've seen that all the shots have been right in his face. 10th goal of the year for Rex Lyons, the veteran. But when Paul Gate gets the ball, he draws such attention that it's good to cut off of him. You're going to get a lot of shots, and that's what Rex Lyons did. You also want to be in the face of Marty O'Neill if you want to be effective shooting. That, again, is what they did. So within 30 seconds, the start of the second half, Rochester ties the game at 4. This is Randy Frazier trying to beat Chugger. Rex Lyons had a huge goal, and Christy Lee's got him now.
Well, Leaf, we had him, but his line just went out there. Maybe Rex will be able to do some more magic in the third quarter.
Meanwhile, Gate got roped. If you get Paul Gate, the ball in the open, it's all over. Gate gets it over on the wing, beats the defense. He's in front of O'Neill and just rips rope in the corner. Look at the smile. The first smile we've seen tonight from Paul Gate because that's the first lead Rochester has had. 5-4, 1-goal lead. 5 unanswered goals for the Rochester Nighthawks. No panic yet from Randy Frazier and his father, the coach, Ron Frazier, or Steve Conley.
Have a seat, have a seat.
Palace now getting a little more control over his players. Look at that. 5 straight unanswered goals after Boston threatened to run away with this game. Rochester showing the patience. They're a little bit antsy early on. Driscoll wrapped in the back, and that'll be Talmo. No, it's Cataldo.
Stay away. You got the foul. The foul. Holding.
Number 22, Cataldo, gets 2 minutes in the box. Tommy Young will give us the call.
22 holding, 2 minutes.
Watch Cataldo come off on Driscoll. He's got to wrap him up. He pulls him down. A great tackle. And that gives him 2 minutes in the box. Just absolutely takes him down. Rips his head off. So it'll be power play opportunity for the Nighthawks. Ball picked up. And now loose. Rodney Tapp beating Jacobs. This is a power play for the Nighthawks, but Boston with possession. Boston now will take time off the clock. They've got 14 left of the shot clock. They just want to eat up some of that power play time. The Nighthawks don't want to give them a good shot here. They don't want to give them the goal. Carmine working out front, shot clock down to 4. Parks in front of him. He gets a shot. Chugger just gobbles it up. Plenty of time left with this penalty, 1:22. So Thorpe runs off. Gate comes back on. They fake like you give it to the Gate. This is the give and go fake. Jacobs still has it. They tried to do the old fake give and go. Gate up top now. They're using him at the point, which I thought was very effective. If they spread a little bit here with Gate up top, it really pulls the defense out. Here comes Gator. Can't beat O'Neill. Follow up. Lyons. Rope. Rex Lyons is a member of the Canadian special team. Gate makes his shot. The bounce comes off of O'Neal, and Lyon comes in there, gets the follow-up shot. Huge goal. Second tonight for Rex Lyons, the veteran. 2-goal lead and a timeout for Boston. 6 straight goals for the Nighthawks. Sellout crowd loves it in Rochester. We're at the War Memorial in Rochester, where they enjoy a 6-4 lead, the Nighthawks do, over Boston, a team that got off to an amazing fast start, a 4-0 lead. They threatened to blow this one away. Dietrich got tough in the second quarter, and finally the offense for Rochester got unleashed. Sudan. He has come up big today. Can't get a shot against Donovan. Donovan pulled him down. Sudan has really stepped up a notch. I haven't seen him play this hard yet this year, to tell you the truth. He is a great talent, amazing talent. Made second team All-Pro last year, and he only played 4 games because of a knee injury. He had 10 goals in those 4 games. Hold! Emmett gets the hold call.
Pick it up, Green.
2-goal lead might not hold.
That's a lot of field. Run.
Frazier a little more intense than he was in the first half when he enjoyed that 4-0 lead. Dowling's been taken out of it of late. Ball checked down. Ryan looking for rope. Can't beat Dietrich. Follow up right in his face. Push call. But it was a good push for the Nighthawks. As you look at Ryan, you don't want to give that easy goal, so they'll give up the possession to keep an easy shot against Dietrich. Check behind the goal, tried to get it out front to Liddell, couldn't get it. Ryan Silcott against Ryan. Silcott, Ryan. Silcott pushes off Ryan, can't get the loose ball. Finally does, double team by Boston. Finally, Silcott comes up after Chenchuk tried to decapitate him. Sebastian's part of the Boston defense, but right now it's all offense with Sudan and Paul Gate on the field. There's a specialty unit on that Boston squad. They're not out there now. Here comes Paul Gate. Boston, Ryan.
Check in the neck. 2 minutes. Right here.
And this game is getting out of hand. It's getting out of the grasp of this coach, Ron Frazier.
Here we go. Not going to salvage it. Come on, let's go.
Still in total control. Ryan now in the box. 5-on-4. They start in a diamond because Paul Gate is now up top. Paul Gate, I think this is very effective. 6-4 the score. Power play chance for the Nighthawks. Up top is Paul Gate. Down low is Park, but they missed that chance. A 2-goal lead and a chance to make it 3 if they can get a good shot. Francis for Boston, though, maintaining control. Burns locks up on him. Walt Cataldo. He'll go off as Carmine is on. Here comes Ted Dowling. They've got Dowling on to try to get maybe a good shot and a goal, even though they're a man down. Paul Gate couldn't find him. Boston working in for a shot. And Dietrich smothers it. Great save by Dietrich. Watch out, Park. He's hammered by Carmine. Great defense by Carmine, who's only about 165 pounds. Far side break, can't pick it up. Watch out! Here comes Paul Gate. Gate's got Driscoll to the side. Driscoll has it. They'll go back. He'll shoot for rope. Can't beat O'Neal. You won't get a better 2-on-1 than that. Finishing shot by Rex Lyons. He's got rope in a 3-goal lead. Transition game, 7 straight goals and a 3-goal lead. 7-4 the score. It was a fast break on a power play. Driscoll down to Lyons, who just sweeps it in. And Lyons gets a huge goal, his 3rd. He scored 3 of the last 4. Rex Lyons single-handedly has given Rochester a comfortable lead. Ron Frazier has to be thinking of a little bit of trouble here. He's down by 3, and Quint Kesnick has him right now.
Ron, you guys were up 4-0, 7 straight goals for Rochester. How do you get it back?
I don't know, to tell you the truth. We just have to take it one at a time, hopefully, and see if we can get it past them. They're on a heck of a run right now, but we know the game's going to be runs. There's going to be runs for both sides, and we're waiting for ours to come in, and hopefully we have a 7-goal run, and it's over.
Quiet confidence on the Boston sideline, Leif.
And Quint, I'd have to wonder where Dowling's been. They seem to have taken Dowling out of the picture. So maybe it's because of tempo. Maybe it's because of the loose ball situation.
Take it out there.
Dowling
Throw it out.
has not had much of an impact on the offense. Right now, teams are 5-on-5. 3-goal lead for the Nighthawks. Blanchard gets it behind. They work from behind. Carmine to Blanchard. He can't beat Dietrich. A beautiful play. Blanchard to Carmine, back to Blanchard, but they couldn't beat Chugger.
2 minutes each. Get it. You want to swing your fucking stick?
So obviously Blanchard not very happy as they march 2 players over. Hearn and Carmine go to the box.
2 minutes roughing on each player. 2 minutes roughing on each player. Yeah.
So teams will play at even strength, but it's getting pretty testy down there. Sudan gets knocked by Carmine. Carmine swinging the stick like a hatchet man, and Merns just protects himself. Now they go at it. Even though Carmine walked away, that first hit, I guess, got him his equal 2-minute penalty. Teams will be playing 4-on-4, even strength, with 1 man in the box for each team. I'll tell you what, when you start losing control, I think that favors a Rochester team. Boston needs the discipline. Boston needs the control that Ron Frazier exhibits on the sideline along with Steve Conley. They can't lose their cool. Boston has to maintain their posture on the sideline. Sudan misses wide. Peter Park tries to follow. He's double teamed. This is 4-on-4 now. Park double team. They can't get it. Push call.
Keep talking.
Sebastian can't believe it. Ball now out front. Jacobs to the far side to Paul Gate. Jacobs lost a glove. Jacobs playing without his glove now. They come down, take a shot, can't find room. Paul Gate now, this will be trouble. He's got a little bit of room. Very tough to stop. One guy can't do it. Tripped up and knocked down. That's one way to get him to stop. Ryder brings it down. Ryder shoot, big save by O'Neill. Ball loose, push ball, it'll go back to Boston. And Christy Lee on the sideline as one of the key players. Now Christy Lee, how's it going down there on the Rochester sideline?
Well, I did have Brian Silcott, but he just went out. We were going to talk about the tough, awesome defense. They seem to be creating transition goals for the Rochester Nighthawks, this great defensive team. And, of course, the play of Steve Dietrich is just awesomely.
And Christy Lee has that temperament down there. It looks like the Rochester sideline has gotten a little bit more control as they've gotten control of the game.
Correct.
Dietrich with a windshield wiper save. Dowling trying to become a factor in the game. Dowling so far, no, got the 1 goal from Chanachuk. So Carmine with 2, Blanchard with 1, Dowling with 1. Whoa! Sudan knocked off his wheels. Big hit by Glenn Stevens. Sudan now back up, tries to get it into Hollenbeck.
Here you go, out here, out here.
Two-minute penalty coming up. Big hit from the side. And that was Glenn Stevens laying it on Timmy Sudan. He got right back up. Carmine's already in the box with Merns. But this penalty will be on number 37 for the Nighthawks, Tommy Emick. And I got to tell you, as you look at Sudan, Emick almost single-handedly took his team out of the game last time they played Boston. You got to watch the tempers on both sides. Right now, a 3-goal lead in the third quarter. Left in the third quarter, 3-goal lead for Rochester as Boston enjoys a 5-on-4 advantage for another minute and 5 seconds. Emick is in the box. Oh, open net, but Reggie Thorpe just gobbled up the shot. That was an easy goal for Dowling, but defenseman Reggie Thorpe, number 11, just took it out of his stick. He absorbed the shot because Dietrich was about 2 yards in front of the net. That would have been goal number 5. Paul Gates slows things down. Penalty down to 39 seconds. Shot clock down to 10. And apart. The right-hander's on the wrong side. He really can't shoot from there. He's all right. And all wrong in his position. Paul Gate tackled by 3 players. Still has position and gets in on O'Neal. Holy smokes. They call him for withholding the ball from play. So Paul Gate gets double-teamed, triple-teamed, and they call it against him. Watch him cup the stick to his chest. First he gets hacked by 2 people, pulled by 3. Look at him pull the stick into his chest. Didn't really hold it there to his chest. He pulled it in tight, didn't really hold it to his chest, and then he rockets it off the pipe. Great individual effort. Carmine in close, can't beat Chugger. Well, penalty down to 2 seconds, so this was a key play for the Nighthawks. They successfully killed a penalty. Boston held without a goal for 30 minutes now. They scored 1 goal in power play situations, and they've had 5 chances.
No.
All right, they had to reverse that call. They called an over and back, but the play was all even. You can only have a backcourt violation if teams are not at even strength. Driscoll gets tackled again by Sebastian.
Take it up top.
Driscoll, look at this. Once again, he gets hammered from behind. This time, Sebastian brings him down. Doesn't get called for the 2-minute penalty, so that's a good play for Sebastian, the defensive specialist. As an All-American at New Hampshire. That's up against Driscoll now. The pick and roll for Lemon out front. Watch out. Paul Gate will roll inside. Only one man. Oh, great defensive check. Francis just took it away from Paul Gate. Shot clock down to 15. Here's Paul Gate. Inside one player looking for rope. Couldn't find the net. You won't get a better chance for Paul Gate to score. He had the ball in close. Just missed the 18 square feet. 1:20 left in the 3rd period. Still a 3-goal lead for Rochester Nighthawks. They've scored 7 straight. Boston hasn't scored since the 1st quarter. They haven't scored since about 3 minutes left in the 1st. Frazier tries to beat Chugger, can't do it. Tell you what, Dietrich was not that strong early on, but he has been tough since. Working from behind, Randy Frazier redirects, and Chugger buys it again. Ted Dowling has been held pretty silent, and Quinn Kesnick has him now.
Ted, last year you played with Chugger at Detroit. What's it take to score on him? Just got to persevere and keep shooting, and wait till he gets tired near the end of the game. I mean, he's the 2nd best goalie behind Marty and Elliott, so got to be best. Dowling looking to score in the 4th quarter, Lee.
And Quinn, according to the players in the mill, he's only the 2nd best goalie to one guy, and that's Dallas Elliott. He beat out Marty O'Neal in the voting by the players for All-Pro select making the 2nd team. 7-4 right now. Check from behind by Matt Ryder. Rochester doing a good job of picking up the tempo. Reggie Thorpe looking for Burnham. Gives it to Pete Park instead. Park just hits it up to Burnham. Burnham's open in front. Down low, watch out. In fake, Dewey Jacobs can't beat O'Neal. 3rd quarter winding down. That'll be it. Rochester loves the Nighthawks because they held Boston scoreless for the 2nd straight quarter. They have a 3-goal lead going into the 4th. Rochester Nighthawks standing room only crowd is on their feet at the War Memorial. They call it the barn, and the barn is going nuts. 15 more minutes, and this franchise, that's an expansion franchise, the Major Indoor Lacrosse League, will go to, in its 1st year, the championship game. It would be a matchup of Paul Gate against his identical twin, Gary. They played together in Philadelphia last year, and when Rochester had the franchise started here, they were lucky enough to get a franchise player in Paul Gate. Stats for the 3rd quarter. Boston, of course, leading in shots. I shouldn't say of course because they are down on the score, but they shot 3 more times than Rochester. Loose balls, Rochester won that battle 14-7, and that is the difference in the game, I think. 7 straight goals for Rochester is because they keep getting the loose balls, usually the domain of Boston. But from the second quarter on, Rochester stepped up their loose ball hunt, and they've neutralized the great athlete of Boston. Trying to get it into Driscoll, couldn't pick it up. Lyons, he's got 3 goals. Pete Park, Gary Gate, Paul Gate rather. Paul Gate's got rope. Paul Gate, 3 goals, 2 assists. When he gets open in front, he is tough. Once they find him with some space against Tapp this time, or Francis rather, Francis could do nothing. Paul Gate just sets his sights. Beats O'Neill for the 3rd time tonight, a hat trick with 2 assists. The leading scorer in the game, Paul Gate right now. A low-scoring game, but that makes the 4-goal lead huge for Rochester. They have held Boston scoreless since 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Ryan Lemon gives it back to Reggie Thorpe, the defensive specialist. Clock now is their favorite ally. Paul Gate pushing in, 1, 2, 3 players on him, and he's nailed. Easy. I think we're going to have a procedure called too many players. I believe it'll be too many players against Boston. It'll be a 2-minute penalty. This could be.
He needs a rest. We're going to win this thing.
Ron Frazier showing extreme confidence. Without question, Frazier and Steve Conley, one of the best coaching staffs in the league. They get the most out of their players each and every year. Real aggressive defense, gets the ball out front. Tapp can get it from Driscoll. Tapp pushes it down. Here comes Rodney Tapp looking for Rose. He's got it. So after Ron Frazier calmly said, looking right in the face of disaster, you heard Frazier say, we're going to win this thing. Then Rodney Tapp steals the ball. He's a man short personnel-wise, but diving in, beats Chugger for the first time since the first quarter. Paul Gate slow going down. Driscoll slow going down. Rodney Tapp, the Canadian, showing you 110%. That is a huge, huge goal. Back to a 3-goal lead, 8-5. The advantage was supposed to be for Rochester. Rodney Tapp just pushed it back in their face. Paul Gate. Sudan can't get it down. Gate picks it back up again. Back to Dewey Jacobs. In front. Whoa! Rodney Tapp again. Looks out front, the outlet to Francis. Francis running down, keeping Rex Lyons on the field. Here comes Dowling. Dowling can put it to within 2 goals. He can't finish it off. Break, check by Murns. Now they'll keep him on the field. They've got a fast break if they push. 4-on-2. It's a 4-on-2 if they move it. Dewey Jacobs up front. Zips inside, takes the shot. No, a great check by Randy. Randy Frazier made the check of the day. It was a 4-on-2. But Dewey Jacobs had just given the ball up. 29 seconds left on the penalty as Penchuk rags Paul Gate. Size mismatch there. Park back out to Paul Gate. Rocket shot and rope. Paul Gate shows you a little velocity here. Watch him whipping around. The stick flies out of his hands, and the ball rips rope behind of O'Neill. Watch the velocity. They get it back up to the top, right to the point, and the Gator whips it around. His stick flies out, and he finds the line right behind O'Neill. The smile is on Gator's face. 4 goals for him on the night, along with 2 assists. And the last 6 goals, 3 for him, 3 for Rex Lyons, to make this a 9-5 game, back to a 4-goal lead. Rodney Tapp did a great job of scoring for Boston. Paul Gate very calmly took away the impact of that goal by scoring about 30 seconds later. Mark Burns moving the ball around. Paul Gate has been so critical in this game. Christie's got him now.
Paul, a huge power play goal for you there.
Well, you think I got lucky. Anytime you put in a 5-hole, it's a matter of a little luck, and that's what happened, basically.
Having a great game. Keep it up.
A little better second half. A little better.
Championship bound Nighthawks lead?
Looks that way at this point. Time left on the clock, Christie, but with a 9-5 score, it's hard to imagine Boston scoring 4 goals to tie it up in the last 10 minutes. But they can certainly do it. You know, in the Indoor Lacrosse League, you can score 3 goals in a minute. We've seen it happen many times. So plenty of time on the clock for Boston to do it. They've just got to get their offense unglued. And the guy that's going to have to lead them is Ted Dowling, number 19. Let's watch and see if we can figure out how Boston might get Dowling on track. Pete Park, 6'5", 230. Takes the shot, and O'Neill does not get the goal. Now the Dowling dash, we talked about Dowling dash or trash. This quarter, Dowling is on the door closest to Dietrich, so the Dowling dash should be in full operation right now. Nighthawks have been held under 10 goals only twice, both times by this great Boston defense. 9 right now, though. They are 1 goal from getting into double figures. 1 more goal, and they will surpass their season high against the Boston Blazers. Possession goes to Dietrich, and a timeout called on the field. With 9 minutes left in the game, the Nighthawks enjoy a 9-5 lead. Give me blue on the floor. Crowd's got a lot of noise going for him. 7,500, the 5th sellout here in Rochester, and Gator looking for rope backside. Sudan can't find it. Gets a little pipe. Gator with the rebound. A 4-goal lead for Rochester. Hold ball. Ball goes back to the Nighthawks. They've got the clock working on their side now. 8:47 left in the game, a 4-goal lead. This game was bizarre in the fact that Boston was up. Uh-oh, there'll be a penalty called here. Boston was up 4-0 in the first quarter. They scored their last goal with Carmine. Michael. He's not calling it now. He's not calling it. Oh, he's not calling it? He called it. He called it. Get back to that story in a minute. Trying to figure out if they're going to make a call here. It looks like they're not. So nobody goes into the box.
Doesn't matter whether it's in your stick or not. We're not calling that 2 minutes.
All right, Tommy Young says no penalty called. Rochester has the ball. I talked about the Boston team coming out to a 4-0 lead. Going into the second quarter, it was a long time before Gate got the first goal for Rochester, but then they scored 9 of the next 10 goals to give them this 9-5 lead. They have really taken charge since the first quarter, where they were very tight and using a lot of wasted energy against this great physically fit Boston squad. They knew exactly what they wanted to do.
You got them both? Just you. Come on. You started. Come on, Greg Louganis. Greg Louganis.
All right, great acting job by Sebastian. Watch Sebastian. Whoa, he takes a dive from Driscoll. A lot of these awards with Oscar night coming up, these players are very aware that they too might get an Oscar. But Sebastian doesn't get one here. Actually, he actually does, because Driscoll goes to the box, and Q looks like Sebastian gets the Oscar on the sideline.
Yeah, I got him. Jack, a little bit of a dive there on that call or not?
Well, I took a good whack after the whistle, and yeah, I did exaggerate that one a little bit, hoping to draw the 2, which is good. We need to get back in it. Hopefully we can use this man up to get back in it here.
Very smart veteran play by Jack Sebastian, really baiting that call.
And Quentin, a candid conversation. Jack not hiding it at all. Rope from Blanchard out front. And the Oscar for Sebastian, the goal for Blanchard. It's now a 9-6 game. Chugger gets beat from out front. 8 minutes and counting. About 8:07 left in this game. Ball out front. Blanchard just rockets this one past Dietrich. Randy Frazier digs it up top. Blanchard with the great left-handed shot goes to the right side. Steve Dietrich like giving you his left, and then he goes to cover it up. So what Blanchard does is shoot right at him.
All right, come on, Rochester. Let's get it up and get it
Dietrich opens it up.
Come on now.
Boston with a chance to make it a 2-goal game. Rodney Tapp. Shannon Chuck. Blanchard just scored. Gives it up to the wing. Dowling's got to be a factor if they're going to win. Dowling gets hammered. 3 players.
Out there, out top.
Dowling works the left side with Ryan. That's the 2 left-handers. It's a 5-on-5 even strength team right now. Ryan working with Dowling. Check from behind. Great defense, but the ball's still loose. Dowling picks up. Blanchard has it now. Cross to Shannon Chuck. Looking for rope. Far side to Dowling. Every possession critical. Dietrich gets it with 7 minutes left and a 3-goal lead. The Nighthawks. Expansion team with a chance to go to the finals. There's a story building behind the scenes here. Pete Crawford is now with the Nighthawks. Pete Crawford started his career in the Major Indoor Lacrosse League with Detroit. They got a ring. Then he went to Buffalo when they were an expansion team. He got a ring. Now he's with the Nighthawks looking to get a ring. O'Neill gets that rebound. 6:36 left. Here comes Boston. They need to get 3 goals to tie. Dowling wants the ball. Wants rope. He's got it. The Dowling dash worked to perfection. We talked about the Dowling dash being set up now in the 4th quarter. The door is closest to their goal. Right now, Dowling is back to his door. He'll wait right there. This is the Dowling dash textbook style. Trap sees Dowling coming in. Listen, running into the door. Nobody picks him up. Lemon tries to, but Lemon just waves at him, and Dowling just stuffs it home. Now the crowd's a little bit nervous because it's a 2-goal game with a lot of time left. Great check by Sudan. Face-off was controlled by Francis, but Sudan just rode him. Push call gives it back to Rochester. This baby is far from over. But a key play there by Timmy Sudan to get a possession for Barry Palace and the Nighthawks. See if they use the clock. Burns. Being hammered by Rodney Tapp. Close putt, can't beat O'Neill. 5:30 left in the game. They need 2 to tie. Dowling's back on the field. You see the score by quarters. Look at the drought for Boston. It was a 4-0 first quarter, and then they went into the hole. Their offense didn't show up in the 4th quarter, and that's why they're fighting from behind. At front, Dietrich gobbles it up. Great save by Steve Dietrich. He stepped up to cut down the angle. Dewey Jacobs. They're calling for help. Dewey Jacobs being ragged by Carmine. Whoa, Jacobs almost scores on Jugger. But Carmine, UMass All-American. Now can Paul Gates really make it tough to come back. Gate with a shot, and the defense of Randy Frazier took the shot. Randy Frazier stepped up and had the shot hit him to protect his goalie, Marty O'Neill. 4:40 left. Looking for Robinson, finishing shot off the pipe. Huge play. And a rebound for Boston. They are still well within reach of this game. Carmine. Robinson in tight, watch out. Frazier off the pipe. Here comes Paul Gate. 2 men can't stop him. Benedict behind him. Benedict can't pull it down. Racehorse, both ends of the field. Here comes Dowling. He wants it. He's got it. Can't beat Dietrich. They gave him the ball a little bit too late. Donovan gave Dowling, in front, and he's got rope. Sloppy play for Rochester. It gives Dowling another chance. And Boston coming back coolly and calmly to be within 1. 4 minutes left. A ton of time. Dowling scores again. He scored 2 in a row. They've scored 3 goals in 4 minutes. And now it's a 1-goal game. 3:56 left, 1-goal lead for Rochester, but Boston has control the last 5 minutes. The crowd is opportunistically and very hopefully cheering Rochester on to get the franchise that is an expansion franchise into the playoffs. This is a fake play. Randy Frazier flicking that he has it, but Blanchard has it, number 46. Blanchard picked up top. Down low to Frazier, up top to Dowling, who can't get the shot off cleanly. Ground balls will be the story. Possessions will be the key. Robinson in close. Dietrich gobbles it up. Dietrich has 4 seconds to get it out of there. He better hurry. Now he wheels back and gets possession. 3:14 left. Every possession critical. Shot clock down to 20 as Sudan brings it up and fresh legs on for Rochester, including Paul Gate, Rex Lyons. They've scored the last 6 goals for the Hawks. See if they use the clock. Driscoll up top. Looking down low to Rex Lyons. Lyons takes up a lot of time. He shoots right into the protection of O'Neal. Fresh 30-second clock, but nothing even close to challenging O'Neal. Down to Carmine, who's got great vision. He can shoot, but he's really a tremendous speeder. In close! Trying to find Dowling. Ball still loose. Lyons picks it up, and the veteran with 3 goals on the day gets a key possession. Burns to Reggie Thorpe. Thorpe gives it back to Dietrich. You can only throw it back to your goalie 1 time in a 30-second possession. Paul Gate. First team All-Pro who can seal it. Oh, Park in front. He's got rope. All the attention on Paul Gate. Peter Park moves inside. 6'5", 230, and he knows that could be the game. A little bit of release from the sideline. Again, Paul Gate with all the attention. Big Pete Park wheels into the left hand. He's a right-hander that pulls back the right hand for the shot. Pete Park's 2nd goal tonight. And the Dolph Lundgren lookalike has a chance to make that the breathing room they needed.
All right, I got Rodney facing off. I got Randy, and I'll take, we have Todd Francis back there, okay? If we get the ball, okay, let's take 1 run at it down here. After that, when we get the ball, Marty, be aware, when we get to a minute 30, we'll take a 1 run, all even, then we're going to pull you. See if we can get in.
Have a seat so you can see the light changes. Have a seat so you can see the light changes.
Big possession. Silcott against Tapp. Paul Gate looking for rope. He cannot beat O'Neal. Tapp gets the ground ball. 1:40 left. They've got to hit one here. Carmine moves right into the cylinder. He'll crank. Can't find the 4x4.5. Thorpe against Dowling. O'Neal not sure whether he should come out or not. Blanchard looking to beat the Chugger, but he couldn't do it. 1:21. Tapp. Shot bounces off the defense. Here comes Sudan. Look at the hustle on Sudan. Ball loose. Sudan open. Looks for a trailing player. Comes inside and gets checked from behind. Valuable time kicking off. Now down to 1:04. Rodney Tapp again. That chewed up about 40 seconds of valuable time for Boston. They need 2 goals. Blanchard. There's the time in the game. The winner moves on to face Philadelphia. Robinson. Whistle blew first. Timeout was called. Boston scored a goal, but they called a timeout before they scored. Unbelievable. Timeout with 49 seconds left. They took one of their own goals off the board. They're down by 2. This was just moments ago. Boston needs a goal. They need a good possession. Watch them get a loose ball. You hear the whistle right now, and they score a goal. But they had already called a timeout. That goal comes off the board. Watch the sideline here. Timeout being called. Meanwhile, their man scores a goal. And that took one off the board for Boston. Back to live action. 49 seconds left in the game. 2 goals down, Boston is. You see the ticks of the clock. Rochester moves on if they win. Boston needs one here. Big save by Chugger. Reggie Thorpe, the defensive specialist, the All-American from Syracuse, a rookie. Big possession. Burnham can't get it. Carmine does. 30 seconds. They've got time left. Chugger behind the goal. They had time to get one, but they threw it away. Helmet got ripped off. 21 seconds left. Shot from out front by Frazier. They've got to take away some shots. They're going to have to crank it up. Carmine down low. Watch out. Looking for Rowe. Can't beat him. 10 seconds. Ball out of bounds. This crowd is on their feet. The expansion Nighthawks looking to go to the championship of Major Indoor Lacrosse. 3, 2, 1. They've done it. The Nighthawks advance. Company take the expansion Nighthawks to the finals with the Philadelphia Wings. We'll be back with final comments in just a moment.